Now there isn't a lot of news this week, but I will talk about certain things that I heard about Nogizaka's performance in Singapore. So look forward to that, as well as the other news that I will talk about. If this is your first time watching, on the top right of the screen you can see what section I'm talking about, whether that's 48, graduated, or 46. Again, on the top right of the screen you can always see, and all the links I will talk about will be down below, as well as any other details, again, will be down below. So let's start off talking about Juichi Gatsu no Enkoretsu, which is AKB48's 50th single. And with this single, as we know, it has been recently released, and the first day results are actually in, and as suspected of AKB, it got over 1 million with 1,048,000 copies sold. And as we know, this is Mayu's last single, so I think this is a good send-off of saying, hey, here's another million single on the first day. And of course, it ranked number 1 on the Oricon charts. Next up is news that happened like right after I recorded, and that's actually with Stu48, and the fact that there's actually 7 different versions of their single that's coming out. Now, as we know, they haven't had a single before, so this will be their debut single, the very first single, and they're actually releasing 7 versions of it. And the reason why they're selling 7 versions of it, well, that is because there are 7 prefectures that they're representing for every single version. And the tricky thing is, there's actually a catch to this, because in order to watch the full documentary, you need to buy all 7 versions, because there's 7 parts divided into the 7 versions. So you have to go out and look for all 7 versions if you want to see the full documentary, which kind of sucks, but I guess it's a good way of selling the CDs, especially for a group that doesn't have that much hype or even their own stage/boat. Next up will help us transition into the individual members, starting off with NGT48 Nakai Rika with a new music video. This is for the song Daite Yatcha Sakuragicho, which is actually her own little single song. So you can go ahead and watch that music video down below. It actually reminds me of like old school movies, but like their club scenes where you have like a songstress singing the song, and then you have like the old, the old band playing in the background. I mean, this song is not bad overall. I kind of got Ohori Megumi vibes a little bit. No, but again, it's not that bad. I mean, there was an effect during like 2 minutes and 35 seconds where they try to speed ramp into the next scene, but I don't think it worked out that well. You could go see it for yourself. Next up is something else with NGT, and that is Kitahara Rie, who is going to release a photobook. I mean, finally, right? This photobook will come out January 17th, and already knowing Kitahara, you already know it's going to be a good photobook. It's been a long time, and now that she's graduating, it's a good time to release it. I feel like recently there's been a lot of those like, hey, you're about to graduate, so here's a photo book to commemorate you going off into the real world. So some interesting things about this photo book: it was actually shot in Vietnam, and there's actually 5 different versions that's going to come out. So I guess you just have to look for the best cover and see which one you want the most, or if you're a real fan of her, then you can actually buy all 5 versions. And that does it for 48. Let's go to the graduate members, starting off with Takajo Aki, who is signing up with a new agency after not being in an agency for a while. So with this new agency, hopefully new opportunities come out for her, because she hasn't been in an agency since like the beginning of last year. So she's been finding work by herself. I mean, congrats on that. But now being an agency, maybe this will help to bring a little bit more bigger opportunities to come. And I mean, I still have no idea what happened with that photo book. I said the photo book was coming out. I read everywhere that it was coming out. She even said herself it was coming out, and then I don't see anything on Amazon. I don't know if it was like a exclusive thing that only people who fundraised it actually got the photo book. I'm not too sure, but I really want it, and I haven't seen it anywhere. So if you guys know anything about that, please let me know. But that does it for graduated members. Let's go to the 46th side, starting off with a new game that came out. I talked about this, I think it was last week or the week before, about Nogizaka coming out with their own rhythm game. Well, that game has finally come out. Rhythm Festival is available to download now, and it is actually quite fun. It sucks that you have to like play a song over and over and over and over just to level up. I wish they gave you a little bit more songs in the beginning, that way you have a little bit more variety to level up. But if you are a fan of rhythm games, then this is totally for you, so check it out. Next up, I'm going to talk about a little bit what happened in Singapore, and from the reports I have, it was a blast. Seeing them in person apparently is very, very different than they are on TV. Like, apparently they're way better looking in person, which is already hard to believe. But again, I have heard other reports from other times that I've read that this is in fact true, so I don't discount their storytelling, or in this case, factual truth. And there was a Q&A panel, there was a signing, and there was the actual concert. So it seemed like it was a good day overall for all Nogizaka fans who actually went there. There was one complaint about the audio with the mics, how they were set up for the group. Apparently, like the group before and the group after sounded really good, but then Nogizaka didn't sound so good because of the mic setup was more for like them than it was for their big group. So unfortunately there was that, but still seeing them live probably like overtook any of the audio issues. But there was an announcement that was announced during this, and it was at the last MC, and they actually announced that they will go to Hong Kong next for the same name of the convention, but except the Hong Kong version. If you are in Hong Kong or you like are easily accessible to go there, then February 18th is the day to go. So really look forward to that, to see what is going on with that. I imagine as the date comes sooner, there will be more information revealed and more details announced. And next up is news that I heard on Twitter about different people saying that Nogizaka is actually more available to other countries, and this is probably thanks to the Singapore thing and thanks to Hong Kong. So, I mean, looking at it from the US, it has no difference at all. That's why I was a little bit skeptical, but apparently a lot of different people are saying this is in fact true. So if you are in a different country other than US, you can go ahead and search for the videos. If you go to the channel, it doesn't work for some reason. You have to search the videos and they come out from the official channel. So go ahead and try that. I imagine someone messed up in the whole thing and got the channel to not work for other countries, but the videos did work. And apparently they're updating it one at a time instead of using the check marks and selecting the regions. I don't know why they wouldn't just put it worldwide and just limiting America. I don't think it's the whole YouTube Red because NGT is under Sony. So, I mean, there's not really a problem there. I mean, they even put English subtitles, so clearly they care. Again, if you are in a different country, you can go ahead and check it out. And hopefully one day the United States will get it. And now we just need Hiyagizaka to actually open up, right? Next up is individual news, starting off with Inoue Sayuri, who actually did something cool. And that is the fact that at 23 years old, she has actually entered university. I know there's people who enter university later than, than 18. But this shows the fact that even though she's an idol, active idol, and she's 23, she's going to university. That's not stopping her at all, and she's going in full force. So, Inoue Sayuri, you can go ahead and do whatever you want, and I'm sure you'll do great at it. And hopefully this inspires some of you out there to go ahead and follow some ambitions that you have. Next up is Yoda Yuki, who is actually going to be in a new drama based on an anime adaptation of Mob Psycho 100, the popular anime. Now, I've seen this anime a while ago. When it first aired is when I watched it. And this is actually a good anime, and if you're into that thing, then you can actually watch it and see what the character will be like and see how Yoda Yuki will actually play this. If I remember right, the character's kind of dry and is a little bit skeptical in the beginning, but eventually joins along. She is one of the more dominant characters in the anime, female-wise, but it isn't like a super major character. But still, this is actually a big thing for her. This is actually a big role. And I don't know why she got the role specifically. Maybe it was the look, maybe it was her talents, but I am still glad that she got the role nonetheless. So you can go ahead and watch that on Japanese Netflix on January 12th or on TV Tokyo 18th of January. So I really recommend watching that when that comes out. And last bit of news is with Nagahama Neru, whose photo book is actually seems like it's going to do fairly well. Now, if you know one of my personal favorite photo books, the Shiraishi My Passport photo book, well, pre-orders were 100,000. That's how much copies they made for the pre-orders. Well, with Neru's photo book, they're actually making more than that. They're making 120,000. So it seems like they anticipate more pre-orders for her photo book than they did for Passports, which probably shows that she's going to reach a general market, not only an idol market. So this is actually really good news for her, which means this will be more opportunities for her to appear in different things and not only represent herself, but AKB48G. Now, will this mean that she'll outsell Shiraishi Mai's photo book? I don't think so. But looking at these pre-orders, you can see people are very excited for this photo book, as so should you be. So if you haven't pre-ordered that, I really recommend pre-ordering that. So that does it for the news. There's actually a cool video coming up, not by my channel, but a friend's channel. I'll update more on that when it actually happens, but it does have to do with something in Singapore. I'm not revealing too much information since I haven't been given the okay, So I'll give more information on that when it comes out. Just wanted to tease a little bit. And wrapping it all up, you can go ahead and subscribe. As of recording this video, I'm actually 2 subscribers away from 1,500. So if those 60% of you who aren't subscribed that watch every week can go ahead and subscribe, that would actually help a lot, as a lot of people actually look at the subscriber count to see how good you are instead of looking at the actual content. So you can go ahead and do that, and you can go ahead and leave a comment down below to let me know what you think about the news or what you think about what happened during this week in general. Please leave a comment down below. I look at all the comments and I read it, and I really appreciate it. And again, you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter and go on Patreon and support me if you so wish. If you want to get some behind the scenes with a future video that's coming out next month, which I'm sure all of you will enjoy, and the behind the scenes will probably be super epic on that. I know I'm kind of hyping it up, but I'm saying and already thinking it's going to be good. And you can go ahead and see bloopers that I will release this week, as well as special live stream that I'll do editing this video right here, and you'll be able to see it if you go ahead and go on the $3 tier, or next month you can actually join in to the live stream to be a caller in and actually talk with me, and you know, we could just have fun and talk about AKB, Nogizaka, Kyagizaka, anything really. So you can go ahead and do that by supporting me on Patreon. Look at the different tier list and see what piques your interest. So again, that does it. You can go ahead and check out last week's video. Thank you for watching this week's video, and look forward to next week's video by subscribing. You can go ahead and check out the photobook critique that I did recently about Shinichi Mai's photobook, which I think sets the standard for all photobooks, really. It's that good. And look forward to the next one, which will actually be next week when the new photobook comes out, which is actually Horimiyona's. And I know a lot of people have gotten their hands on it already that are in Japan, but I will actually critique that as well. And as I say every week, thank you all for watching.